Nigerians made the Canada precisely. Is this news true? Look at that. See, I'm very well. They say new sex for rent agreement become popular in Canada. So because of the constant and recurrent increase of house rent in Canada, some tenants are offering sex in return for payment for their rent. Most especially the women are offering their landlord sex in order to say, okay, you know what, I don't have money to pay for my rent this week, but I can offer something. So the woman and the landlord will bargain and calculate the amount of pleasure that the woman can render to cover up for the rent that people are actually doing it. It's a report. It's a statistics that was recently carried out in Canada. So that's why I'm asking my Nigeria people over there in Canada, is this true or not? We know all those things are usually happening in Africa. We know say they happen for Africa. We know say most especially Nigeria. We don't hear sex for grade, sex for work, and so many other stuff. And this kind of thing they favor women. They favor women more. But what about the male tenants? How are they going to participate now? Well, you know, say there are a lot of gays over there. So maybe their landlord might be gay and they might decide to offer their nyash as a return for payment. Or maybe there are still some even women self that want pleasure from male tenants and of course their landlords. And they can also strike a deal. But I just want to know if it's true. Because I do not live in Canada. And this is just a report out there. I don't know if the news are true or not. But let me know, guys. Is there any truth in this? Is there anything truth in this? In this? Is there any truth in it? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Let me know. Because it's crazy to even think in Canada, but we know for sure the rent there is too much and it's skyrocketing almost every month. You know, when people start seeing houses as a form of short term get rich quick investment, this is what happened. And meanwhile, housing are not meant to be a get rich quick investment. Housing is supposed to be a long term investment to the point that you won't even get the return of your investment in housing. Your children or their or your grandkids will get the return of that investment. But then again, no, everybody want to invest in housing and also get the return of investment from that house in the next 2 years or 5 years, and thereby increasing the rent. Yeah, and it's not possible. So we need to stop seeing housing as a get rich quick investment. But by the time we stop seeing it as that, then house rent and all those stuff will reduce. But because we see it as a get rich quick investment, that is why we're having issues with house rents. We're having issue that has to do with whole house and even building materials. Because we see it as a get rich quick investment. It's not a get rich quick investment. You cannot pour close to 200 million naira, or let me say 200,000 US dollars in apartment, and you want to make that kind of money in the next 2 to 3 years. It wasn't even supposed to be an investment scheme, but I don't know who decided to just twist it to be an investment get rich quick scheme housing. Honestly, it's supposed to be a long time investment. A long time investment, not short time investment. Now, you make the returns. No, That's why we have something like sex for rent agreement. And you know, white people, by the time this thing becomes popular, they might advocate to put it in their law that yes, a tenant can offer sexual pleasure to the landlord as a form of payment for rent. Yes, they might advocate for it. And you know, these white people, it's democracy now. It was the people want, Abi. It's what the people want. That's what we put in the law. And they might just put into the law. It can happen. It can happen. It can happen. Don't say it cannot happen. And meanwhile, we were just told that the US has systematically start revoking Nigeria visa. Yes. We don't know why, no explanation. But according to Easter blog, they said the United States Embassy in Nigeria has reportedly begun quietly revoking valid visas previously issued to Nigeria citizens, leaving professionals, entrepreneurs, frequent travelers, and families stranded with cancelled plan and mounting financial losses. After they have approved visa for people, they are revoking it. Why? No explanation given. And you know all those things has to do with politics. Donald Trump, what has Nigeria done to you again? Or what do you want from our president and our president is not giving you? Or is it because Tinubu traveled to Brazil recently? You know, US has issue with Brazil. So tell us, what have they done to you? Or what have we done to you that you start revoking their visa after even issuing visas to them? There should be some form of some form of consequences. Just imagine a US citizen, Nigeria issued visa to them, approved their visas, then boom, later on they rejected it again. Do you think the US embassy will take it lightly with Nigeria? They will ask Nigeria to pay compensation because the fault is from them. But no, because in our USA they do unto Nigeria, nobody gonna talk about compensation to those people who have cancelled their plan, who have certainly maybe borrowed money to finance the movement and everything, or paid for some certain things over there. You know, there should be some form of consequences to such actions. But you know, it doesn't really apply to a Nigerian. It doesn't really apply to a Nigeria. It's all over the place. Nigeria story even reported it. The U.S. embassy in Nigeria have quietly begun revoking valid visa previously issued to Nigeria citizens. That is one thing about some Nigeria going there. So Nigeria will have multiple entries to USA, 4 years visa. And when they get there, even with their multiple entries, they can't risk it to come to Nigeria. Because the USA might just change their law today and you are stranded in Nigeria. Even with your multiple entry into the USA, you cannot return to USA. This is the kind of thing. That's why they will stay there and stay there until the 4 years visa approval has expired. That's when they return because they do not understand the law. The law can just switch up like this. It's quite unfortunate, though. It's quite unfortunate. Somebody need to explain, but there's no explanation for an African man. There's no explanation for an African man. To an African man. Please, you guys need to answer me about this. Please, to all the Nigerians, concerned Nigerians, please, we need your response on this new sex for rent agreement become popular in Canada. Please, we need to know so that we can reach out to our loved ones over there and tell them, please do not try it. Understand? Do not try it. We know it's common in Africa, in Nigeria, but certainly it must be happening somewhere. But not, no, when they carry and come up for news like this, it's becoming really, really serious, and everybody, many people are now aware of it. Let me know, guys, how you guys feel. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed, and bye.